my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? My name is Fumidesaluvold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you're so very welcome indeed. I missed you guys. I've been away for 2 days. Did you miss me? That's the question. Well, mom and dad have left. My mom and dad were here and they were visiting, and it was so wonderful to have them and, you know, babysit and cook for me. And my dad is a rock star because he was just taking care of the house and everything. And so for the last 2 days I just said, no, you know what, quality time is priceless time that I can never get back. So I was with family. That was what I was up to. And I dropped them off at the airport only to find out that we have Fumi Nation in British Airways. When I tell you, I took full advantage. Yes, I did. It was wonderful. It was so wonderful, and I am so grateful to you guys because Fumi Nation, you're bigger than me. You're better than me. It's not about me no more. Fumi Nation, when I tell you, you are a movement, and I live for every single one of you. When I tell you that you are better than me, you are at the airlines, you are lawyers, you are nurses, you are doctors, you are everything up here. You are accountants, you are digital savvy. I'm just like woohoo, and you're watching little old me. I am so honored. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My parents, thank you. Grandma and Grandpa Fumi Nation. Anyway, while I was away, come to find out, because you know this Jeannie, and Jeezy is going to be on for a minute. I actually thought, you know what, going to be 1 or 2 stories and then we are done. Until you guys are done with it, then I'll stop reporting. But in the 2 days of absentia, you guys flooded my DMs. You said, for me, we want your opinion on this. And I said, but what's been happening though? And apparently People magazine, a reputable magazine, came on through with a headline. Jeannie Jenkins is trying to save her marriage despite husband Jay-Z's divorce filing. Source. Translation, somebody talking. A source tells People the real host is hurt, obviously, and devastated, expected, by the rapper filing for divorce earlier this month. And you know what, I'm going to start doing this because we are reading these stories, but they are written by Jeannie, no pun intended, Janine, I beg your pardon. It is written by Janine Rubinstein and Stephanie Wenger. They wrote the article for People magazine. So somebody knows Janine and somebody knows Stephanie on a phone number, text, WhatsApp basis, because it's a source and we want to know who. Needless to say, let me keep it going. Jeannie Jenkins is hoping to salvage her relationship with husband Jeezy after he filed for divorce earlier this month, of which we all know, and I have done story and update after update. A source tells People that the real host, who is 44, is hurt and devastated by the rapper's decision to end their marriage. She got married to stay married, the insider reveals. She's committed to trying to save her marriage. Jeannie Jenkins says she was honored to walk beside her love, Jeezy, 9 days before the divorce filing. Remember, she had come out with this strategically placed video with their beautiful daughter, and she and her daughter were praying together. Oh my God. I mean, the daughter was the star of the show, and strategically she had the book placed in this beautiful, you know, actually Instagram fabulous setting, you know, picturesque setting. Anyway, goes on to say, a second source reveals, number 2, the problems between the pair escalated recently, sharing they've had issues for a long time, but things got really hard over the last few months. Now, you would say, oh, then that means she wasn't blindsided. That means that she knew. Not necessarily. Remember that Jeannie is from a different culture, Vietnamese. And I say that because I'm African. My mother is from the Gambia. Hello, Gambia. Gambia number 1. And then my father's from Nigeria. Nigeria also number 1. I say the same thing. I am both. Proudly so. And that's culture. Even where things are bad, you know, that's when it's kind of really good, because it's how much can you take and you still stay in the marriage. Not to say that if it was a violent marriage or if it was a toxic energy sapping marriage that you stay in there. What I'm saying is that you will always have tough times in a marriage, and she might have thought this is a bad patch. Come on now, our baby is not even 2. Where are you going? But in actual fact, Jeezy peeped it and said, no, I am getting up and out of these Vietnamese streets. Needless to say, they've had issues for a long time, but things got really hard over the last few months. I'm repeating myself for dramatic effect. He spent nearly all of his time in Atlanta, Georgia, and she was flying back and forth between there and California, Los Angeles. The insider explains, when I tell you I miss my Cali, I lived in California for 10 delicious years, and I savored every 12 months of the year of those 10, and I miss it. I miss it in a way that I cannot put in words. But I will tell you this, it was the only city that I drove with the top down and my hair afro blowing in the wind. I looked a mess, but I still loved the blow in the wind. And it was just that feeling of just driving alongside the beach. There's no other therapeutic situation like that. None other, because I would go for auditions, and if you didn't get them, I just said, you know what, let me go for a drive. And the scene alone, by the time I got home, I was well invested to punish myself again and go on and ahead with another round of auditions. California will do that to you. You will have some bad days, but the sun still comes out every day. It's a city of dreams. Yep. Everybody, one time in your life, go to California. One time in your life, go to New York. One time in your life, go to an African country. It doesn't matter which, but go. One time in your life, go to a European country. Go. Go to those little inside cobblestone streets that's not on the map. Go there, go to the pubs and have your fish and chips the way you've never had fish and chips. I digress. And now my phone, there you go. Needless to say, she was scaling back and forth. That is Jeannie Mai. Let me recap. He spends nearly all of his time in Atlanta, and she was flying back and forth between there and Los Angeles. The insider explains. The insider, aka the source, aka Jeannie Mai. She was scaling back a bit and trying to spend more time in Atlanta to work on their issues. The source added, she obviously knew they had problems, but she wasn't expecting a divorce. What did I say? Now, she's trying to figure out, and this was after I'd said it, now she's trying to figure out what her future looks like and where she'll be living. While Jenkins is hoping to work on their marriage, GC45 posted on Instagram shortly after filing for divorce that he was focusing on himself. Too focused on who I'm becoming to focus on who's not coming. Oh, wait a minute. Too focused on who I'm becoming to focus on who's not coming with me, wrote Jeezy, who was married to Jenkins for 2.5 years. In his filing, the Grammy-nominated star said the former couple, who had a prenuptial agreement in place, are currently living in a bona fide separation, and that their marriage is irretrievably broken with no hope of reconciliation. The document also stated that Jeezy, nee J. Jenkins, wants to share joint legal custody of the pair's daughter, Monaco. He's also a dad to 2 children from previous relationships. Reps for each did not immediately respond to people's request for comment. Atlanta Journal-Constitution was first to report the news. Well, as I'm giving them credit, they're giving the Atlanta Journal also credit. What do I say? What do I think? I think the sad part is she now has to come to terms. You know, relationships, marriages, when they come to an end, I don't care whether it's intimate or platonic. I've talked about how I've loved my girlfriends and how we've had to part ways. And it's a death. It's in stages. Because when you have a death, there's a shock and you refuse to accept it. How many times have you heard that somebody passed away? And your instant reaction, and I think it's to kind of protect us, we instantly say, but I just saw her. I just saw him. I just spoke to him or her. I just saw him or her on TV. It's the just. Because it's too close to what we had dreamed, to what we had dreamed for them, for what we dreamed for ourselves. Jeannie Mai would have had 1 or 2 quarrels with Jeezy, and she still bought flowers for the kitchen. And she still bought portraits for the sitting room area, because she did not attach one to the other. She just said, rough patch, we'll get through it. We have a 1-year-old. He couldn't come up with that. He did. And all this time where Fumi Nation have just been wanting update after update, it has now occurred to her the inevitable. I just might have to start thinking, where am I going to live? And so you can just imagine, here she is now. She really now has to say to herself, do you see how my hands are getting better? I'm so excited. I'm so excited. They've really gotten better. They were dark, of which you reminded me on a regular basis. But we're getting there. The knuckles. What I don't want is to bleach my skin. I'm not going to do that. I want to tone, which means that I even out the dark parts without touching my natural complexion. I love black. I love blackety black. I'm black. I'm dark. And I live for it. And I'm proud. I'm a dark-skinned sis. Digressing again. And so she has to now come back and think to herself about moving. And moving to where she doesn't know, but already is not going to be a happy place, because she's not moving with her whole family. It's a mourning process. You mourn over the good times that you had, however short. And you mourn over the future of what you thought you were going to have. Because this was not the plan. She wouldn't have done all of this. Why would she have made Jeezy a father of her baby? Why would she have had a baby with a man who didn't want to be with her, as well as the baby under one roof? It's unfortunate. And she has to think of relocation. Where? And of course you very well know, because they do have a baby involved. It's not a thing where you can run to your happy place. Let me run to California. Let me throw myself into work. She has to think of the child. And as you very well see, he also wants joint custody. When you have... I have a couple of friends that are divorced. I had a front row seat. And that was why I advised Jeannie, don't fight him on this. I had a wonderful, wonderful girlfriend. Beautiful. I want to tell you, beautiful, breathtaking. That kind of natural beauty where she just did not need makeup. She didn't need anything. And she had the most beautiful personality. She always smiled. And she married this guy. And we were all shocked when they parted ways. I think what led us into real speechlessness was the intensity of the divorce and how it went from 0 to 100 in hatred. By the time they had turned around, the children were in their 20s. And the children just didn't want no part of it. It was sad because she said, the divorce stole my children away from me. I was so blindsided by it all. I didn't see my children grow up. I didn't notice that they had grown up because I was so angst on this man. It's a terrible thing. And she has to think about where or how they're going to co-parent. And how he's going to have access to little Monaco. And this is what is going to be going forward. This is going to be the permanent status quo for her life. All of a sudden, that love, cookie, kiss has now become a thorn in your flesh. These are the stages. And she's mourning. And she's also out of the mourning comes acceptance, because you're understanding the loss. There's a loss. You see, initially when it's fresh, oh no, I won't accept it. No, I'm going to fight this. Oh no, da. But remember, I told you that I watched an interview. It was the School of Success interview that I really sat back and said, oh, wow. I could have thought a sorta that this was all a hoax to really, publish the book. But no, the book is doing well all by itself. It just really gave me an insider, a deep dive into who Jeezy was. And it was there and then that I realized my wholesome advice, my cookie cutter, cotton bedsheet advice to the home was falling on deaf ears. Brass had made up his mind good solid while ago. You guys corrected me in the comments. You said, Fumi, he didn't file in June. He didn't file. He filed in September. Okay, I got the message. He thought about it though. He did something in June. And so I realized that, you know what, don't beg a man. Don't ever. Because that comes now with a whole shopping bag of other problems. Now he doesn't respect you. Now he's going to do stuff that he didn't dare do before. Because he knows that, oh, you love his dirty drawers. You'll take him any which way. Wash, clean, indifferent, dry clean. You'll take him late. Not coming home at night. Not coming home at all. Not coming home for the week. Coming in with friends. Coming in with God knows who. No. No. You can keep your dignity intact, trying to keep your home. But the second he looking, acting crazy and resistant, let him go. You know why? Because like I've said it many times before, let me demonstrate for those that new Fumi Nation members. Let me show you. Choo. You're holding onto a cord that's what? Unplugged from the wall. All this weight, all this energy, all this holding on, pleading, talking, therapy, this, that, and the other, the energy, the socket, there's none. It's been unplugged. He unplugged you. You've just been holding on to what has already been discarded. That's Jeezy. For whatever reason, we don't know. We can speculate from here to tomorrow. We're not there. We're not a fly on the wall. We didn't see it. What's that on the floor? That's Adrian's ball. Should I get it? It's bugging me. It's like a ping. Oh, God. Oh, God. I got this dress from H&M. Yeah, I got the dress from H&M and I love it. It's adorable. It's hot in here. The heating is on. So, that's it. But we're working out. We're exercising. We're doing our thing. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. It's unplugged from the wall, Mama. It's unplugged from the wall and it's sad. I think that, that she's thinking of where to live. It's only a matter of her to accept. Now, here's the tricky part, and we women are like that. Jeezy, you take her down that road. Doesn't matter how many diamonds you buy that sis, she will never come back. If she goes down this road, as you might think that this is what you want, and you're really embracing all the attention right now, because we heard that you're still keeping your ring on. I think he did a Revolt TV interview and he still had his ring on. Nice piece of jewelry too. Don't mean nothing. Don't mean nothing at all, because he hasn't come out verbally and said anything. He's letting us do all of the talking. Doesn't mean anything. But if Jeannie gets up and takes her lashes and takes Monaco's milk bottles and steps up out of here and really moves out, sis is gone. Sis is gone. We beg. Yes, we can beg. But when we're done, Father Lord up above can come down and say, wait a minute, and we'll be like, love you more than anything, but we done. That's all I can say. Would she stay in Atlanta? I don't know. Will she stay in New York? I don't know. It will have to be a thing where herself and GZ decide what is best for Monaco. Monaco is only one. So, you know, she got a minute before she even starts to go to nursery, if that. Before she even starts school, if that. But one thing is fact. It will have to be a joint discussion, because I will give this to Jeannie in her defense. She been from Cali. She works in Cali. She been from, well, like he said, she from the Bay. From the Bay Area. So that's her bread and butter. All this about the small little things, and you know, she's a social media freak. You know, I'm quiet, I'm this, I'm that. Ooh, just occurred to me. You know what? Maybe he didn't see it all the way. Didn't they meet during lockdown? There wasn't anything happening. It was absolute heaven for GZ. For somebody who didn't like people in the first place. As all of them. You know what? Yeah, they loved it. You know what? Yes, they loved it. Point in, yes, case in point. I put up on my community, you should go there. I'm always there. I love it. It's like a side relationship we're having up in there. And I said to Fumi Nation, would they go to the forest where you had no TV, no phone, no computer or something for like 6 months, and you would be paid 100,000? Look at the comments. Go and look at the comments. Literally, oh, this is a dream for people that don't like folk, for loners. This is a dream for people that like to be alone. I was surprised and impressed. They said, oh, that we can do. So fast we can have our books, and we can cook, and we can this, that, and the other thing. There are people that just really love to chill and enjoy their own company. And it just occurred to me as I was talking to you right now, that's Jeezy baby. Because they met in lockdown. So I don't think he knew how intense Jeannie was or involved with social media. But she's been doing hosting gigs for years. Jeannie is an old school Vietnamese hustler. Trust and believe. Yes, she is. Just like me, I'm an old school African hustler. I'll hustle all the way. You know what? Let me tell you something. I don't care where the stage is. I will get up and I'll perform. Whether it's a pub, whether it's a little club of 10 folks, whether it's behind the stage, whether it's street performance, 2 people, I don't mind. Look at me. I'm talking to a camera, talking to you. I will do it. I'll hustle. I don't mind. So the thing was that Jeannie been doing this. He had to have known, but maybe not to the extent. Anyway, you know what? That's all water under the bridge. Let's move forward. Jeannie is at a stage now where she's taking a step forward to sink down. She's mourning her relationship, the loss of her relationship, and she's taking the next active step now, mentally preparing herself. Where am I going to live? I don't know why that brings me to tears. I don't know why that brings me to tears, because she's got the money to live anywhere. I think what she's saying is that I have to accept that this wonderful dream of mine is over. For those of you that are going through divorce right now, I give you my heart, because I think you need a little bit more love than others right now. I'll give you my heart. It's not easy, especially for those that didn't want this. I'm so sorry that you are going through this. I like to spread joy, and I love when you come up to me and say, Fumi, you made me feel so good during a hard time. And Jeannie is not the only person going through a divorce. There are so many nameless, faceless women and men that are going through this terrible time where their families are torn apart. And there are children involved, and there's so much involved. And to start dividing, it's a terrible thing, because it's no longer a house, it's a home that you have to pack in boxes and name those boxes: kitchen, bedroom, bathroom, downstairs closet, downstairs garage. Your future and everything is put in boxes, and you are forced to move out of a wonderful place that you lived, that you enjoyed going down the street to buy the morning bread and the milk for breakfast. I know how I feel about where we live. I love this place. And to read this is sad. It's just sad. It's just sad. You know, we do this for entertainment. We do. We want to make it entertaining. We want you guys to walk away with some kind of fun out of it, as well as a lesson. But it's really seriously sad. And it just makes me want to stop for a minute and say to everybody going through a divorce right now, I'm terribly sorry. I'm terribly sorry that your future wasn't what you thought it was going to be. And you won't get the answers now. You will get them later. And it's unfortunate. Because Jeannie Mai is a celebrity, and so is Jeezy. That's why we're talking about their divorce. But there are so many people out there that are going through this. What can they take away from this? Don't fight dirty. Because you know what? There's a fine line between love and hate. This thing can go all the way left. Yes, it can. I don't think it's enough just to co-parent. I think it's also fair to say that we can be civilized with each other. And that's hard. Because I don't know, I think they're in Atlanta. I think so. And she has to pack up everything now to relocate to where? Because they've got a child. They have to think of Monaco now. Monaco is still a baby, you know. And there's nursery, there's schools, there are all of these things to think of. And nobody is going to get 100% because you've divided it by 50-50 now. So what 50 is going to be good for you and what 50 ain't going to be good for you. That's the 50% I don't want. This is the 50% that I do want. You see how it just turns from love to numbers? It's intense. And I have to just extend my empathy through this difficult time. Not easy. But you will be given strength. And I give you my heart. You can take my heart. I'm going to lend it out to you. Because I think that you need a little bit more love. Of where you used to have a lot of love. It's never the lack thereof. It's that we are just, we don't want to go all the way. It is what it is. And it's unfortunate. So my darlings, do not forget to like, to subscribe, to hit the notification button. And I will see you guys sooner than later. Please, baby, let us hit 1 million before the end of this year. Alrighty? All of my love.